It's another Q&A edition of Optimal Health Daily, episode 910, and I'm Dr. Neil, your host of the show. Welcome back to another Friday show where I play your questions and simply answer them. On all the other days, I read health and fitness blogs to you like an audiobook, with permission from the authors, of course. Now today, I'm going to expand on something we talked about earlier this week. On Tuesday's episode, that's episode 907, I read a post from Chalene Johnson, and she talked about tips. And one of the tips in her post was all about eating the same foods every day. And sure enough, a listener sent me a question asking that very same thing. So I'm going to expand on that. But before I get to it, in case you're new here and are wondering, well, why should I send you a question, Dr. Neil? Isn't doctor just really a nickname? You just call yourself a doctor? Well, I do have my Doctor of Public Health degree with an emphasis in chronic disease prevention and nutrition. I also have my Master of Public Health degree with an emphasis in health promotion and health education. I'm also a registered dietitian nutritionist, a certified health education specialist, and a certified exercise physiologist through the American College of Sports Medicine. I like to say when I'm not doing this podcast, I actually am a full-time professor at California State University. I've also been featured in over 70 different media outlets for my expertise on all of these things we talk about on this show, like health and wellness and nutrition and fitness and stress management. I've also published research on the effects of diet and weight management and diabetes and presented at national conferences. Now, I'm going to remind you how you can send in your own question at the end of the show. But for now, let's get to today's question and start optimizing your life.
Hello, Dr. Neil. My name is Daniel. I'm calling from the UK. I just wanted to say that I love your podcast. I listen to it every day. I just have two quick questions for you. So, what's the recommended daily intake of avocados? I almost eat two every day, two big avocados every day. Just wanted to know if it's too much. And also, I eat the same food every day, but it's like a whole food balanced diet with a wide variety. I include vegetables and fruits, and I just wanted to know if I'm gonna have any deficiencies and if there is gonna be any problem with this, eating the same food every day. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for your question, Daniel. And thank you for listening and calling in all the way from the UK. Now, eating the same foods every day is not so bad, provided that, as you mentioned, you're eating a balanced diet. Eating the same nutritious foods every day is a goal that I have often set for patients that are hoping to lose or maintain their body weight. And partly this is because too many choices can be overwhelming. And that doesn't just apply to those that are hoping to manage their weight. All of us are susceptible to being overwhelmed with too many choices. There's actually a term for this: decision fatigue. Let me try explaining it this way. Why do so many stores have cheap and often useless items located in the checkout line? It's because by the time we are ready to leave the store, we've already made so many tough decisions, our ability to make a good one has exponentially decreased. That's why these products are called impulse buys. I've had the experience of spending quite a bit of time at my local grocery store after navigating a very busy parking lot, and as I was waiting in line to purchase my cart full of items, I then decided that 10 packs of gum for $10 was a great deal. Then came home only to realize that buying a year's worth of gum was probably not the best idea. This same phenomenon applies to everything, including our food choices. Think about it this way. After a long day at work or in school or both, sitting in traffic, dealing with the kids, dealing with the pets, paying bills, etc., it's often difficult to find the willpower to work out or plan a nutritious meal. This is because at the end of the day, we're experiencing decision fatigue. We've had to make so many decisions throughout the day. By the end of the day, we can't make a good one. This is why it's often easier to simply remove the decision-making from the equation altogether. That way, if we eat pretty much the same foods every day, it makes life a bit easier, less choices to make. So I would say eating the same foods every day is fine, but it may not be the ideal. That's because even with a well-planned nutritious diet, there may be some micronutrients you may still be missing. For example, we're realizing that there are some powerful antioxidants in various foods that, when combined, may make for a pretty powerful combination of potential disease-fighting compounds. So, by sticking to the same foods, you may be missing out on some of these combinations. Let me try explaining it a different way. Let's use exercise as the analogy this time. Let's say a client tells me that they consistently walk for 60 minutes every single day without fail. I would then respond by saying, that's fantastic. This is because this regimen would likely keep their heart and lungs healthy, and according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, would prevent many chronic diseases. But at the same time, sticking to this same workout routine may not help them reach their body's full potential. But if they were to mix up the routine a bit and incorporate maybe some high-intensity training or some flexibility or resistance training or all of the above, they may come closer to realizing their full potential and possibly better prevent other diseases as well. So incorporating some variety might be beneficial. So back to the diet question. I realize you're not American, Daniel, but many of the American dietary guidelines are similar across most industrialized nations. So I'm going to quote the American dietary guidelines here. Again, these are going to be similar to what you'd find in Europe. So according to the Dietary Guidelines for Americans, 2015 to 2020, most adults are to consume a variety of vegetables from all of the vegetable subgroups, including dark green, red, and orange, beans and peas, starchy vegetables, and those that fall under the other category, which is all the rest of them. The ideal, though, is to consume at least 5 to 9 combined servings of fruits and vegetables each day. And when you do consume fruits, try and consume whole fruits. When it comes to grains, consume whole grains, and eat a variety of protein-rich foods such as seafood, lean meats, beans, nuts, and seeds. And try and consume healthy fats while limiting saturated and trans fat, added sugars, and sodium. And actually, an example of a healthy fat would be avocados. Now, when it comes to these healthy fats, like the ones you'd find in avocados, it's still a good idea to watch those portions. Consuming an entire medium-sized avocado would contain anywhere from 200 to 300 calories. One serving of avocado is considered 1/3 of a medium-sized one, which would be about 50 grams or 1.7 ounces. So not much. So Daniel, if your current meal plan is well-balanced and contains lots of nutritious foods, you're off to a great start. But if you truly want to maximize your potential, consider substituting some foods you commonly eat with those you don't eat as often. And you could do this slowly. Don't feel overwhelmed by this process. Just swap one food, one vegetable out for a different one. There's no need for a complete diet overhaul. Thank you again for the question, Daniel. You'll be entered into a very small raffle every month to win a book. And if you want to be in the raffle, send me a question. Just come by oldpodcast.com/ask. Or you can do it the old-fashioned way and call in your question. The number is 61 I love OHD. Both methods are in this episode's description, which you can find at oldpodcast.com. All right, that'll do it for this week. Thank you for listening every day. Thank you for listening all the way through. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you back here on Monday where your optimal life awaits.